Hey everyone, I'm Chef Dennis, and welcome to day 2 of the 3rd annual Virtual Bloggers Conference, and we are up to session 3 for the day. So this is the halfway point, or the 3/4 point, if you want to look at it that way. And we're going to talk about the original, not the original, but the one I guess most of us started to use when we started using social media, and that would be Facebook, or as Mia Voss likes to call it, the F word. So we're going to get our learn on about some Facebook because, we still need to use it. It's not dead, unlike some other social medias that are limping badly. But they do some things that make you wonder or make you go, sometimes. So we've got a panel of Rebecca Radice. How you doing, Rebecca?
Wonderful.
You're back?
Good to be back.
Has your crew got everything settled?
Yeah, I think we're good.
You're good. And Peg Fitzpatrick. So thank you both for coming back on this and for helping to straighten out some of the questions we have about Facebook. So if you guys got questions, please leave them in the comment section, and we'll do our best to get to them. So let's talk about Facebook. What can you tell us?
Well, we actually have a fantastic presentation for you, Chef Dennis. So I'm going to screen share, and then Rebecca and I are going to really dig into how to use Facebook. Can you guys see that now?
Not yet. There we go.
Yet. Okay, there's always the little delay. Okay, so we're going to teach you today how Facebook can be your blog's BFF, how to drive traffic to your website from Facebook. And there's Rebecca and I. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, Pinterest. We are on all the different social platforms. But where Rebecca and I met is actually on Facebook. We were taking a class on how to manage Facebook as a professional Facebook manager. And I think this was probably maybe, I don't even know, Rebecca, is this like 3 years ago?
Yeah, 3 or 4 years ago.
3 or 4 years ago. And at that time, Rebecca and I, as we continue to do today, we were both managing brand pages on Facebook. There is a very big difference between Facebook as a person who is just using Facebook and a professional Facebook page manager. And Rebecca and I both have experience with both. We are on all the time as ourselves, but we also know how to use all the tools as Facebook brand managers, which is what we're going to share with you today. The marketing superpowers of Facebook are literally off the chart. As much as everybody wants to say that they dislike Facebook, it is the largest social network. 79% of all social traffic referrals come from Facebook, and that is a huge number that you cannot ignore as a blogger. It has the second longest shelf life of any social media post, with, of course, Pinterest being the longest by like leaps and bounds. Facebook is like 45 minutes to an hour is the time that your post lasts, unless it kind of goes viral and keeps going back up in the news feed. It's very easy to promote and boost your posts, and you can build a highly targeted Facebook fan base, which Rebecca and I are going to share with you how to do that. 6% of all digital time is spent on Facebook. That's like huge when you think about that, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it just, all of these numbers just really speak to the fact that no, Facebook is not dead, and people are still spending their time there. I always figure it's still the most comfortable place to be for people. It's like that comfortable shoe, that we always keep going back to. We might, say, hey, I need a new shoe, and go check out new shoes, but we keep coming back to it because there is that comfort level that we know what we're going to get.
It's true, and I have to say, like, one of the things, it took me a really long time to get Rebecca off Facebook at all, because she just loves it, and she gets amazing engagement there, and that's typical of a lot of people. They really are comfortable. It's their comfortable shoes. Exactly what you said, Rebecca. People are there. Even if people are not professional social media marketers, just people are there to socialize with their friends and family. So that's something that you need to keep in mind as a Facebook page manager, is or somebody who's, even if you're just, it's you as a blogger, you want to, well, we'll go into that. That's a good segue into this one. Why you need a Facebook page, not a personal profile, because there is a big difference. As a blogger, you should have a Facebook page, not a personal profile, because you will be operating as a business, because hopefully you're going to be making money from your blog. So you need to do that from a Facebook page. And if you do it from your personal profile, you're actually violating Pinterest terms of service, which you never want to do on any social media. Pardon me?
You have Pinterest on your
brain.
I
did Pinterest. Sorry, I must be looking at my pins on the side. You always want to meet the terms of. I know the business aspect of Facebook and Pinterest are the same. Like, you just want to make sure, no matter what service it is, that you're following the right terms of service. And Facebook and Pinterest are two that they want you to be a business page. They request it of you. They're not asking all that much, and it's the difference between a personal profile. You want to talk about the difference between how they operate, Rebecca?
Well, and there's, I think, a lot of benefits. Facebook does say, hey, we want you to operate as a business page, but I think they give you a lot of benefits, as I said, to making that transition where instead of just a profile where you have the opportunity to share your posts, share links maybe back to your latest blog post, your page gives you a lot of marketing functionalities. So you've got that big cover image up at the top where you can share what your business is all about. You have a lot of about real estate, just like on Google Plus, where you can share what your company's all about, when you started, maybe a timeline of events that happened within your company, and then all of your contact information. So it's a great way for people to be able to get right in touch with you, maybe click through over to your blog, call you, email you, maybe connect with you on other social networks. And then they have some other functionality that's newer, like the call to action button, where you can specifically drive people to take that next step with you, take another action, maybe clicking through to a landing page on your website, or clicking through to another offer that you have. And then, of course, there's all of the advertising opportunities with Facebook ads that you don't get with a profile. So a ton of reasons, which we're going to talk about in a lot more depth, but a ton of reasons why you need to stop selling on your personal profile, because, as Peg said, you're against the terms of service in the first place, and make your way over to a business page and start to establish yourself as an active, vibrant part of that Facebook business community.
Mm-hmm. So, as Rebecca touched on, you want to use your space wisely and build a great foundation on your About page. A lot of people miss these. It's your great real estate that you have. You need to fill it all out completely. You need to add links to things. You need to check it to see how it looks when other people see it, and make sure that you're using all the places that you can to really tell people who you are. And you can rotate that from time to time, but you don't have to for your About page. One area that is a place that people miss a lot is their Facebook cover photo. So this is an example of my Facebook cover photo, and when you click on the picture, if you don't add anything, it just would have no information on the right hand side. But what I did was I clicked on the photo and I clicked edit, and then I added welcome to my Facebook page. If you're interested in social media, you might want to check out my book. I put a link to it, and I put, there's a lot of great information about social media on my blog. I put a link to that and my other social profiles. And I let people know, like, who I am, what I'm about, because that goes out into the news feed every single time you change your Facebook cover photo, which I wish it wasn't every single time, because sometimes I like to test what it looks like, and that goes in the news feed. Then you have to go back and delete that. I think that happens to everybody. So when you have the photo that you like and you're going to leave up there, you're going to go in and edit it and add all your great information. So when that goes out in your news feed, you have all that information in there. You can tag the photo with people that worked with your company. You can add a location if you're a brick and mortar company. So make sure that that is someplace that you really take the time to fill out, because there's not a lot of places where you can add a lot of links, but when you do have it, you need to use them wisely. And that leads us into one really great thing, that as a business you have a call to action button on your Facebook page. And I believe this is rolled out to everybody now, hasn't it, Rebecca?
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody that I've seen.
Yeah, I think it is out to everybody now. So when you're on your Facebook page, there's it'll pop up with a little thing saying add a call to action button. And you definitely want to click on that, because this is a link that you can actually add on your Facebook page. I have a shop now button. So I created my cover photo with a call to action, and you can see on the right hand side 7 people clicked that week through, and that went to Amazon to buy my book. So if you're an author, it's a great thing. If you're a blogger, that could lead to your, a blog post. There's lots of different ways that you can use that. And Rebecca, do you want to screen share and show us how you would create a Facebook cover with a call to action?
Absolutely.
So I'm going to stop sharing.
All right, and I am going to start sharing. So we're going to just kind of walk you through on Canva, and Canva is just an incredibly easy way for you to be able to create just about anything from a visual standpoint you can think of with their pre-created templates. So rather than trying to figure out how to design something completely from scratch on your own, they have given you the exact dimensions and then a whole bunch of design templates. And I just want to make sure you can see my screen correct at this point?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Cool. All right, so when you click on create a Facebook cover within Canva, this is what you're going to see. You're going to be taken to what might panic you, which is, it looks like that clean slate I was talking about, just a blank page. But over here on the left-hand side, you have a whole bunch of templates that Canva has already created that you could use to at least get your creative juices flowing, to get you kind of started and off on the right foot. And then add all of your own graphics like Peg was just showing you. You can add in your own colors, your own kind of feel as far as those graphics are concerned. So you could just scroll through here. You could find one that kind of feels like you. So maybe we choose this one, and you just simply click on that template, and that will open up, and voila, looky there.
That one is so cute.
I know, I just love that. So just like that, you've got a little template that now you can work within, and everything is clickable. So if I just click here on this text here, Lovebird Photography, now all of a sudden I can type in that space, and I could put anything I want there to add that text. And so this is where you're going to want to start thinking through what is that action or that next step that you want people to take when they're connecting with you on Facebook. So for Peg, obviously, it's selling that book. It's getting them over to Amazon. It's allowing them to quickly and easily click on that call to action button and move them over to Amazon, where they can read reviews, they can check out her book, they can see what it's all about, and then they can buy right there on Amazon. So start to think through, what is it that you're selling? What is your product? What is your service? Maybe it is that blog post, but what is that next step you want people to take with you? And then you can integrate that into your cover photo. So in Peg's circumstance, she had that great arrow that just visually took your eye down to that button, and you could do the same exact thing here in Canva. They've got a nice little search feature that if you just click within that search box, you could look up arrows or as you saw, a bunch of kind of pre-designed ideas pop up with grids, frames, shapes, lines, illustrations, icons, photos, charts. So all kinds of different pieces, design pieces that you could add into your cover photo are right here within Canva. You don't have to go out and find other stuff. So for example, let's just click on shapes. And let's see what comes up. So boxes, circles, hearts, anything you could think of that you might want to add into that cover photo and maybe use within your call to action. So maybe we want to use maybe one of these stars. So let's grab the star. And I just clicked on that star, and it just automatically populated it into my template. And now you see here, you've got the ability to drag, make this smaller, make it, you know, a little bit more in line with your design here. I can just drag it around to move it. And if I wanted to change the color, as you see, I now have a toolbar up here, and if I click on pick a color, there's some pre-created colors here, or I can click this plus sign and go out to the entire color wheel. And if you do know your color code, if you know your hex code for your company colors, you can actually drop it right down within here. So it's just very simple for you to choose another color, play around with the colors, take a look at what's going to work for you, and then also get that in line with your brand colors. So again, just simply clicking up here in the search images, you find all kinds of fun stuff, grids, frames, shapes.
Can you search for an arrow? Because that's
Sure.
where I found, that's what I, like for the little call to action thing. I've tested whether I have the arrow there or not, and I actually get a lot more click-throughs with an actual arrow pointing to the little call to action button.
Well, and I love that because it's that ability to take your eye from just looking at the full cover to here's the exact next step I want you to take. And I think that's a big missed opportunity. You and I have talked a lot about that as we've played around and tested with many, many, many cover photos, you know, what works, what doesn't. And it's that missed opportunity of saying, this is exactly what I want you to do, fans of, you know, my Facebook page. As you land here, here's where I want you to head next. Here's what I want you to read, or here's what I want you to find out, learn more about me. So I just searched arrow up here, and here you've got a whole bunch of different options that you could play around with. I kind of like that one. So we just click on that. Again, we can play around with the size. You also have the ability to turn it. So if I wanted to turn it so it's exactly pointing down at that call to action button on Facebook, you could do that. And then again, just like on that star, you could play around with the color, make sure that it's in line with your brand colors, but also, and something, Peg, we just talked about on our last presentation of visual design, there is so much psychology that goes into colors and the idea of what makes people click. Of course, green, money.
Green means go, go,
go, go, go, go. Click, click, click.
Yeah.
So you can create that sense of urgency, not just within your text where you say, click here for more info, or take a sneak peek at, you know, my new book. Whatever your call to action is, you can put that into text, but you can also use that within your color to create that sense of urgency. So do your research too as you're testing out your cover images. What are those colors that make people click? And I'll tell you, if you just Google you know, what drives traffic, what drives action within a call to action button, there are so many phenomenal articles out there that people have just tested and tried just about every combination of text and color, and then you can just start to work it into your own. But you know, I think the biggest key here, there's a couple of them. First is to be very gracious with yourself, because it's all trial and error, and you're not going to come straight out of the gate with a winning combination. So don't be afraid to play around. And Peg, you talk about this a lot, where change out that cover.
Yeah, I was gonna say that at least like once a month as a Facebook page manager, you should give people something new to look at. Don't
Definitely. Oh, for sure. And I think you could do it even more frequently than that.
You could.
But yeah, I think once a month is great, because to your point, you're back out there in the news feed. People are seeing you all over again. But you're also keeping it fresh, keeping it a little bit different, maybe more unique, and giving them something to look at as they land on your page. Now, granted, not very many people are actually clicking through and making it over to your page. They're just simply seeing you within the news feed. Right. So this is probably more for those people that are newer to your page. But it also allows you to continue to test, continue to try new things out, and start to devise a formula, which of course we talk a lot about, which is, what is that exact formula that seems to really, really work well for you? And you said, you tested it without the arrow, you tested it with the arrow. I think you had a couple of different looks for that arrow too, didn't you?
I did, but that one, the little dotted one, is the most popular.
Yeah.
I have to say, people like that one in pink because it matches all my stuff. I just wanted to also add that there's 7 different buttons, calls to action. It's not just shop now, but there's a book now. So if you're consulting or you're looking for clients, people could click there. There's a contact us, which would work on every single Facebook page. Use app, play game, shop now, sign up, email sign up. That's the gold. Social media is amazing, but your email list is your gold mine. So you could do email sign up or watch video. If you want to create a great welcome page for your Facebook fans, you could add a video that you natively upload, and you could have them watch the video, and you could say, hey, thanks for coming to my Facebook page, and I can guarantee you that if you took the time to do that, people would like your page. I was going to say love your page, but they would love your page, and then they'd click like, and they would become fans of your page. So that would be awesome. So I'm going to, can I grab control back? And
let me give just one quick tip as we're talking about testing and really figuring out what works. A beautiful feature within Canva is that once you have your template that you really like, all you have to do is come over here, hover over this button and click on it, copy this page, and it's going to duplicate that template. So now you could come in and just maybe make a few quick tweaks, maybe add a different arrow like we were just talking about, and then download both of those and give them both a try without having to start all over from scratch. That is just one of the best features.
It really is. And you could add your branding in your little boilerplate, if you will, on your Facebook template, and then just change your background picture for different holidays and seasons. Rotate your call to action button and change the little text, like watch the video, sign up for my email list. It's so easy. There's like no excuse for keeping the same Facebook all the time.
Well, and you can also, if you wanted to start from scratch, come back in and just choose a whole new template. And it's going to land right on top of what we already had created there. So you could start all over again.
Yep.
We did have a question here from Sherry Kessinger while we're talking about that. And she curious about text or no text on Facebook cover image.
Text.
Absolutely text.
Yeah, if you're a blogger, you definitely want to introduce yourself. You want to distinguish your personal Facebook profile from your Facebook page, so having text on it, just saying who you are and what you do is helpful.
All right, you want to take it back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now we'll go back to our presentation. Maybe? Yeah, it's coming. You know how it is. It takes a minute. Now you can see it, right?
Yep.
Okay. So what you want to figure out when you get to, starting your Facebook page is what are your marketing goals, because that's going to set everything else that you do on your Facebook page. This is going to distinguish the difference between your personal profile and your Facebook page, your professional page. You're going to find out what your marketing goals are, and you're going to, we're not talking about creating your marketing goals today, so we're not going to go into that part in great deal, but that's what you want to research and make sure that you know what you want to happen on your Facebook page. Do you want to build your email list? Do you want to, build brand awareness? There's a whole bunch of different things that could be. So you're going to figure out what your marketing goals are, and then you're going to create your Facebook content. This one actually I'm going to skip for now, and we'll go into growing your base, because we're almost at the halfway point of this, and I want to make sure that we get to how to grow your Facebook page, which is through Facebook ads. The average click-through price is only 27 cents. You can really rock your Facebook posts with $5. It does not take a huge amount, and there's amazing targeting possibilities using Facebook's all their information. They allow you to access that through their advertising platform. And Rebecca and I just wanted to cover how to create a Facebook ad, because that's how you're going to build your targeted audience. When you start out on Facebook, finding new people to follow your page is a little bit of a challenge. So creating Facebook ads can actually pull people to your page by creating great, again, designs. So I'm going to stop screen sharing, and I'm going to give it back to Rebecca so she can show you how to create Facebook ads. And of course, this is just a 1-hour presentation. This Facebook ads alone could be, a whole week's worth of information.
For sure.
Facebook ads can be super complicated, but don't let it scare you. Again, in Canva, you can create something, that costs, it can cost you a whole $1 to create something in Canva using one of their templates, or using your own images. It could be free.
Yeah.
And then
exactly. There's so many different possibilities with these, and I think more than anything, more than even what we were talking about with your cover, is the testing, and really paying attention to what's working, what's not, looking into your reports and seeing who's clicking on those ads, and what does the conversion look like on those ads, so that you can continue to go back in. I'm trying to think of, how many different versions sometimes I will create of one ad just to see what is playing best.
I usually do like 3 or 4 even, and sometimes the one that I love the most is not the most popular. Has that happened to you?
That happens a lot to me, to be real honest. And sometimes I'll do upwards of 9, 10. I've even done 12, 13 different ads, all for the same thing. It was a pretty big campaign.
Yeah.
And so I was chunking out different pieces of it, but you don't have to get that complicated, but you definitely want to do that A/B testing where you can see what's resonating best with people, because it's quite often that we know what we like, and we know that this really speaks to us, but it doesn't mean that it's speaking to our target audience. So you got to test to figure out, especially from a visual standpoint, what are the images that are causing people to click. One instance, I had created an image, and it was this beautiful background setting, or backyard setting rather, with a pool, and one had a blonde woman and one had dark-haired woman, and I, of course, being blonde, I'm thinking, oh, blonde's going to do so much better. Blonde tanked. It did terribly.
Really?
Yeah.
That's shocking.
Yeah, where the other one just far surpassed it. So you really do have to test, and keep your images different enough that there is a pretty big distinction between them, that you can clearly see, oh, okay, so they like dark hair rather than blonde hair, or they like real, faces rather than an avatar. So you can start to get a feel for what your audience actually likes and do a better job then in picking those images as you go forward. So we're back in Canva, and we're back in, they have a Facebook ad, pre-created template, just like we talked about with the cover. And I just realized I was in the wrong one last time, because if you look at their
cover.
Yeah, they have your logo or your profile shot there, so you can see exactly what it's going to look like. So my mistake. So we'll go back over here, and it's already created in the sense that it is the exact right size for Facebook ads. However, we were talking before we came on, and Peg made a really great point, which is don't just automatically think that all of these templates have been tested for the Facebook 20% ad rule, because that is not the case, and we'll kind of walk you through that too, what you have to keep in mind. But that's probably the most important aspect, is just knowing that you are compliant with Facebook ad guidelines, and that is that your Facebook ad cannot have any more than 20% text.
And the background image counts too.
Yes.
So even if you had something with text on it, that could get rejected. I just wanted to share, I got an email from Facebook for Business, which has the tips for photos to choose for your Facebook ads. They said consider arrangements. People love people, which is something we were talking about in the visual marketing. This is Facebook. People are here and they love people. And put your best on display. They said, remember, your photos are competing with pictures of babies and someone's fancy dinner. Focus on things about your business that make it stand out, the people, the environment, the products. Try to pick an image that will grab your audience's attention as they scroll through Facebook. Don't post pictures of cats unless you're in the cat business. So relevant to your business. Those are good Facebook. Thank you, Facebook, for those tips.
Yeah, no, those are
those emails out, by the way.
And where do these ads, these paid ads, show up? Kim Boltman is asking.
You can choose if you want. When you do a Facebook ad, you can choose if it shows in the sidebar or in the news feed. There's really, Facebook ads are very deep. Sometimes you can have it be a Facebook post that you promote, which is different than the Facebook ad that Rebecca's showing us right now. But you choose where you want it to show up. So it can be in the news feed or in the sidebar.
Yeah, and unfortunately we don't have a ton of time to talk about that, but there's a lot of strategy behind that too, in figuring out where you want your ads to show up. But as you go into the Facebook Ads Manager and build that out, you have the ability to choose exactly where that shows up, like Peg said, either over on the right-hand side, which we've all seen all those ads that it can almost feel a little eerie, doesn't it? You know, you go out and look at a red shoe, and all of a sudden that red shoe is all over Facebook.
Those chaser ads, gotta love those chaser ads.
Yes. So you can choose to have those over there on that right-hand side, or show up in the news feed. So as people are scrolling, they would actually see your ad, and I'm certain most people have seen those as well. So I'll just walk you through real quick here how to create an ad, and then how to test that ad, so you can see whether or not it complies with that 20% rule. So just like before, you can just choose any one of these templates if you want to start with their base of a template rather than starting from scratch. So I'm going to choose this one that says the seller door, and it's going to replace what I had there. And what you see here now is an area where we can add some text. We can just click on that. It brings up a text box and type in your text. So whatever that might be, I'm just going to type my name in here just to make it simple. They've got some additional areas here where you can type in some text as well. And then they have this really nice feature. Everything is drag and drop. Everything is just very, very simplified for you to get in and make the changes you want to make. So if you want to change this picture, let's say you are a pool company and you've got a special for the summer, and you want to run an ad about maybe this limited time offer. You want to go find a beautiful picture that really represents your company. So we could come over here and we could do a search for maybe pool and see what kind of images come up within Canva. Now, certainly you could upload your own, but you might just want to start here. Everything within Canva, and you tell me if I'm wrong, Peg, you know far better than I do, are just $1. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you want that one-time usage? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, or it's either free or $1. But if it has a little, when you can see when Rebecca highlights over that, the little dollar pops up, so that one would be $1.
So you would know exactly how much that is, and then if
that one says free. Just you can see one on the left-hand side that says free.
Like that one right there.
Yeah.
So you could just find that image that best represents what you're looking to get across within your ad, and just, whoops, I just clicked on it. You don't want to click on it. You want to drag it over, and as you see, it just automatically replaced. It replaced that picture that I had in there. Now it looks like they have a filter, yeah, a filter, or sometimes they have overlays.
Yeah.
And what that means is, as you saw, it just went from that vibrant color to black and white. So they probably have this on a black and white filter. And I just clicked on filter here. And that's going to bring up all of the pre-created filters. And as you can see, yeah, it's in grayscale.
Right. I never used that.
No, if you want to change that, just choose the one. So let's go back to normal. That's what that original picture looked like. And then there's just a whole bunch. Of course, I love Cali. I'm in California. There's drama.
Where's the New Hampshire filter?
I know. You don't get your own.
Well, Guy says the drama filter's mine.
That's because you make everything pop and pretty.
See, it does look good.
It does. Now, if I wanted to, so let's say I'm happy with the way it looks just normally, and what happens when you drag that image over, Canva just automatically places it for you, and a lot of times what you see here is we've lost some of the image. So I can double click on that image, and it just opened up that entire image, and I can drag that image so that more of that original image is now within view on my actual ad. So you can play around with that, move things around, and once you've just decided, okay, this is the look I want within the ad box here, I just click on that little checkbox, and now all of a sudden you can see that you've got a very different look within that image. Now, one thing to point out is you see these grid lines. That is because I haven't purchased that image yet. As soon as you purchase it and you click download, those will go away. Those will not be there once you actually download. So now you'd be able to come in and actually type in all of your ad, text, your copy, and I'm just going to keep it all simple here. It's obviously not really easy to read, so you'd want to spend more time coming in here and making sure that all of your text is just really easy to read. We all know how fast stuff is moving within Facebook. Once I'm happy with it, you're going to click on the download button and just tell it as an image. Now, I don't want all of the images here to actually download, so I'm just going to tell it pages and range and tell it my first one, my number one, as an image, and then it's going to tell you, hold tight, please hold. Oh, that's right, I actually had some stuff in here, didn't I, that I was paying for. So let's see if we can get rid of that one.
That's what I always do too. I'm like, nope, that's got to be free.
Yeah.
Put that free image in there. So this isn't going to be the most beautiful. Well, actually, that one does look nice.
It looks a little bit better, actually. You can.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, yeah, that was a good experiment.
So let's try that again. And sometimes I notice, I don't know if you've noticed this, but Canva gets stuck too, and it thinks there's still cost involved when there's not.
Sometimes when it gets spinning like that, if you just click on the save button up at the top, it like forces it to stop.
There you go. Good tip.
Sadly, I had to use that.
Now, there we go. So now it's downloaded, and now where you're going to head to, there's a couple of different Facebook ad guideline testing grids where you can see whether or not your text is compliant. The first one is right on Facebook, and it's facebook.com/ads/tools/text _overlay. They didn't make that super easy, but we can drop that into chat. And if you just search Facebook ad gridline, it'll come right up. There's another one here that is a little bit more visually appealing, I think, for those of us that like to see maybe a little bit more of what's going on. And this is called the 20% rule.info. And this is where you can upload your image. You're just going to go find that image, probably here within my downloads. Maybe take a second. Actually, you know what? Let's make this simple on ourselves. Oh, there we go. Started to come up. Let me go back. See, this is what you get for being live. There we go.
Your desktop is so much neater than mine. I have like a zillion folders.
Do you?
Yes, I need to clean them up.
If I don't keep it clean, it drives me nuts. Okay, so just navigate to wherever you have that saved, and then you're just going to upload it. And here you can see now it's uploaded your image. Get rid of this. It's uploaded your image in here, and then you're going to mark all fields containing text. So for me, depending on if you're on a Mac, I'm on a Mac. If you're on a PC, it's going to be Control or Command. And you're just going to hold down that Control or Command button and highlight every box where there's text. And once you do that, it's going to tell you your photo contains 20% text, so you're going to get kind of the green light. Yay!
You made it.
You're a winner.
That's a win. You should save that little template because that's
I'm going to. We've just created a whole new template.
Yay!
Or you're going to get a red box that's going to tell you, you know, wah wah, you are a loser. Not really, but that's what I hear in my head.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've got to go back and remove some text. And if you've been working within Facebook and Facebook ads for any amount of time, or once you start testing, you're going to find that they can be a little frustrating because sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to why they approve one ad and don't approve another. So creating these templates where you can quickly and easily come back and kind of rearrange things or shorten up your text just makes your life so much easier than reinventing, and then reinventing one more time.
And that's actually a perfect template because it has Rebecca's name, and she could write, you know, social media blogger at the bottom, or, you know, whatever writer, you know, whatever she wanted to put there, and then she could just change that background photo, because you don't want these to look like ads per se. You want them to look like, you know, something that's, you know, interesting, and they're not, you know, spammy ads with, you know, a lot on there. They want really just to be a nice photo, and then you have a very short amount of text to add in there, and that's it. So a good thing to know is that, you know, they're giving you a recommendation. It says on here it still could be rejected, so it's not a perfect science, but that's as best as we can offer.
Yeah, well, and it's a whole lot better than just flying blind.
Yes.
And creating an ad, throwing it up there, putting all the work into the optimization, identifying your target market, and then it gets rejected and you've got to start all over again. So at least you have a pretty good idea that this is compliant. Still got to get through Facebook ads, but yeah, it's a whole lot better than, like I said, putting a whole bunch of time and effort into getting that ad ready to go, and then realizing, oh, you know, I've got too much text.
Yeah. We should probably move on because we only have 15 more minutes. We have a lot of information
I
to share,
know, so
people.
much to talk about.
Yeah, that's good though. Right? I think people are saying that they like it, so it's good. So now we just want to go over some of the time-saving tools that will help make your Facebook page even more awesome. So I love this site called Likealizer. I use it once a week. It tells me the best time to post for the next week based on posts that I've done previously, and it gives you a little score on your whole page. It tells you should you write longer posts, shorter posts. It's really like the gold standard for me, and I do it once a week. Rebecca and I both love Sprout Social a lot for our social media posting. And we also use Buffer as well. There's like not a one solution for us. We kind of like to manage a bunch of different things. So we're giving you our, main tips. We both use Canva. Rebecca also uses Photoshop because she can use Photoshop. These are just the tools that we use the most, and then Post Planner. I'm just going to go through, Rebecca, let's go through our like 5 kinds of posts, and then you can kind of do a little post planner demo. Does that work?
Sure.
So
Yeah.
we can just make sure we can get through our types of posts.
Yep.
Okay, so what to share to get blog traffic? You want to add variety to everything that you do on Facebook, so we want to give you a couple different ways that you could share your blog posts. One great way is to create a native video upload. Marie Forleo is amazing. She creates the best videos every week, and she uploads them to YouTube and to Facebook now. She writes a little intro. She always has a question. She does everything right. And then you can watch this right on there. You can see she got almost 20,000 views for her Facebook post. Rebecca, have you done any native video yet for Facebook?
I have not. No, I haven't tested. I have not played around on my own page. I have not played around at all with it.
I've done a little bit. I actually, after I gave this presentation at a conference this weekend, one of the bloggers, she's a fashion blogger, and she's one of the girls who shows her outfit of the day, and she created a quick little video. It was less than 15 seconds long. She had 20,000 views on it in less than 24 hours.
Oh my gosh, that's huge.
Is that great exposure or what?
That is phenomenal.
For a 10-second video that she did on her phone.
Yeah.
She's great on camera, and it was her first one. She was like, "These are great." I'm like, "Yeah, just go make more." So that's an option, or I call this like a mini blog post because this is much more than just adding your title. I put the title of the blog post, a link to the blog post, a question, why create a visual brand. I did a little teeny summary because I want to make this interesting enough so hopefully people will click through and go to the post. But if they don't, this can still generate a great conversation on Facebook in your community there. I closed it with a question. I put read on, and I put a link to my blog post, and then I put a pin it for later link, which links to the Pinterest pin. So if people don't want to read it right now, they can just pin it for later, and they can check it out. I promoted this one for $5 because that's what I do all the time, $5, and it reached 4,400 people. 44,000 would be, I would still be happy about that. And it got like 370 likes, which is really, really good. You can create a quote graphic, which is easy to do from your blog post. Rebecca creates these really great tips for her blog post depending on what social platform she's writing about. She puts a little text overlay and it'll say Facebook tip, and she just writes a little quick tip, and that's going to lead to her longer blog post. But someone could take that one little tip, or they can go to the whole blog post. So you're kind of like presenting the same thing but in different ways. You could actually do, honestly, all 5 of these things for one blog post.
Yeah, you really could.
Ask a question. This one was just a great painting, and I just put a question on there. What would be your 2 or 3 word motto? Share in the comments, and 81 people liked it. I mean, that's a lot of people. And then this example is from Rebecca's blog. She has a great image on there. So when I put a link in there, it fed in all that great information. It has her beautiful image. It has a question. It has, you know, she has a little question. She tells you why you should go there. I share 20 Instagram apps to create perfect Instagram graphics in a snap. Why wouldn't you want to click on that, right? So there's, you know, 5 different ways that you can do it. And then why don't we click over and maybe you can show how to do those in Post Planner, which is a fantastic tool that works specifically for Facebook, but also with other social platforms. Sometimes I have to tell you, Rebecca, I will cut and paste things that are for Facebook posts into Google Plus.
You know, I think a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, even though it says Facebook, you can use it for Google Plus, Twitter, all over the place.
Absolutely. And of course, you know, disclosure, I am the global brand ambassador for Post Planner. Absolutely love the tool, but I have been a user of Post Planner for years. So it's something that I've been using personally for a long, long time, and just absolutely love, because if you're not familiar with it, basically what it does is it helps you find just awesome content that is out there that has been proven to perform well. So you can already see the viral nature of this content, see how well it performed, and then it quickly and easily allows you to schedule that out. And you can schedule it to Facebook or to Twitter. You can connect both your page, your personal profile, and then your Twitter accounts, no matter, you know, how many you're managing. It just depends on your needs and how much content you're actually sharing on a daily basis. But when you come in here within Post Planner, you can hover over here on the left-hand side to find that content I'm talking about. So it could be viral photos, so photos that have already done really, really well across Facebook. It could be top content, so this could be links to blog posts, just other people's content that is going to be relevant to your audience. So let's take a look at, let's say, viral photos, and I just clicked on that viral photos, and maybe I want awesome quotes, and I want to see awesome quotes from the last month. So I'm going to take a look at and just filter that time period. I'm going to take a look at what has been shared and what, you know, I want to share on my Facebook page. So maybe keep calm and don't let idiots ruin your day. That's pretty funny. Probably not something I would share on my page, but funny. So you could scroll through here and take a look at everything that has just performed, like I said, really, really well over the last month. And then just simply, you have a couple of different options. You can add it. Like I said, you can quickly share this. You could view it in a little bit bigger there. Or you could actually go take a look at the exact source. So I could click on that and I could see this was posted on Positive Attitudes Quotes. I could see, you know, what everybody liked about it.
Look how many shares that has.
Look at those shares. Yeah, so 21,000 likes, but there's the viral nature of this post is 13,330 people shared this post, meaning that this post, it could be your post, went out and it was able to be seen by that many more people. So it's just a very simple way. If I clicked on add, for me to be able to, I can share that directly to Twitter. I can type right in here, you know, something about this. I could give a call to action like take a look or check this out. You can type anything you want in there. You could add your own images. You can even create your own images with Canva, which is directly connected into Post Planner. So just another tool that we love to use to simplify your content curation, also your content creation, because we know, you know, it can be terribly overwhelming to try to create that content, to try to find content if you're sharing other people's content day in and day out that you know is going to perform well. So why not just come find content that, hey, it's right there, it's already been proven to do well, and quickly share that over on your Facebook page. I like to even test it out on my profile. I don't know if you've done much of that, Peg, but we know how well, quotes do on Facebook.
I test stuff. I use it for all the different things that I manage, tons of different pages. And the thing that I like is when you're a Facebook page manager, when you have a Facebook page, sometimes you just honestly you get burned out and you can't. You're done with ideas for the day, but you may just want to post one more quick thing for the road for the day. And Post Planner is my go-to like every night when I want to post something, for the end of the day or to have it ready to go in the morning. I just have my schedule set up there, and I go through and I put in a few things, and it's just easy, and they look so nice when they go out. So
exactly.
It's always been like a great booster for me because sometimes you do just get kind of burnt out from being online all day.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's, you've written about it, feeding that content monster and trying to keep up with the amount of content that your audience is really craving and looking for. And this is kind of like hitting that easy button. Yeah. Where they've already done the work, they've figured out what really tested well, what went viral, like the one we just looked at, and then they're curating all of that for you. So it just takes so much of the that tough work. And
it's fast.
It is.
It was just so fast for you to find that post that was so successful. So it's a great shortcut, which you and I both love, to make things easy. Work smarter, not harder.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So
I know we're running out of time.
We are running out of time. So we were out. I will just really super briefly go over my last part. If people will just hang with me, I'll take 2 seconds. But one great way that you can meet new people and build your page is giveaways on Facebook, which have worked really well on my page. I've done giveaways on my book club page. The thing that you need to keep in mind is that you have to know what the rules are. Rules, and follow the rules on Facebook. And this is a giveaway that I created on my Facebook page. I created it in Canva. It's not a Canva pitch, people. It's just the tool that I like.
Yep.
I created this in ShortStack. ShortStack is a great company. There's other ones that I haven't experimented with as much, but ShortStack, they have a great staff that will help you and answer questions. All the guidelines and rules are in there, so it makes your life easy. So if you want to host a giveaway or do anything like that, please make sure that you follow the guidelines. And ShortStack is a great way to get that done. And I just wanted to close with that. Is Rebecca and I, if you don't get who we are, there we are again. And we are really happy that we had this opportunity with Chef Dennis to share with you guys how Facebook can be your blog's BFF.
I just love that title.
That was a pretty good one.
Very good, and thank you so much for such a great presentation. I'm so happy we could do it and learn more about Facebook. Kim Boltman just said that she has learned more about Facebook in an hour than she had in 3 years of floundering around.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Not awesome that you were floundering, but
we're happy that we helped.
Absolutely. So, ladies, thank you so much, and thank you all for watching. I will be back in about an hour with the next session, which is on podcasting with Shannon Hernandez, Ryan Hanley, Keita Roberts, and Peabody Johansson. So please join us for that. I'll see you soon.